Do you feel down? Do you feel like you're just not good enough sometimes and that the pressures of homeschool is way too much? You experiencing homeschool shame? Well, let's talk about it. And in this video, we're going to talk about homeschooling shame and how it can affect our homeschool, how it can affect our lives, and what we can do to get out of it, and what kind of perspective shift we can have in moving from shame to victory. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Dad Schooler YouTube channel. And in this episode, we're going to talk about homeschool shame and how to overcome it. Yeah, I think so. That's what the topic is about. And I talk about this from a personal experience of shame, personal experience of not living up to what expectations I have for myself, but also from the position of putting my homeschool shame onto my spouse. It can be it's a very sad, and it's just sad. It's sad to know that you're a part of that and doing that through expectations and not really knowing what homeschool is. And so let's talk about some of the areas in which we can give homeschool shame. First off, I know we can look at Instagram and we can see the perfect family. We can see all the cool things they're doing. And like, man, my school looks nothing like that. Or we can watch, YouTube channels like this. Or even you could be looking at me and be like, man, that dad's doing a lot of stuff. And inside, I've still got shame too. Inside, I'm looking at someone else saying, I'm not doing this. I could be at this level. And so I think shame is something that just goes around. It's always being passed around. And so we just have to do our job to stop it, stop that ball from going in a circle. And sometimes that means separating from social media, from different things that can bring about a sense of shame of saying, I'm not like that. And the thing is, though, I'm here to encourage you to say that's okay, because all of our homeschools are to be unique. They're to be different. They're to be separate, because every family is different. Every family dynamic is unique, just as much as your kids are different from my kids. It's okay. And we just got to find what homeschool works for us, what homeschool looks like for our family. And so maybe some of the things you can do is set some goals, like this is what I'd like to be. These are some of the things that I'd like to see in my homeschool, and just work towards it. It's not a bad thing to work towards something, but it is a bad thing to say, it's not this. I'm not doing good here. I'm not doing enough in this area. And because it just puts unwanted guilt, unwanted shame, and unwanted pressure on you. And that's the last thing you need in your homeschooling, Dad. Whether you're the principal who's just governing what's going on, or you're in the trenches doing the curriculum. It's never good to be harboring shame. And from the other side, if you're totally not involved in the homeschooling aspect of curriculum, because like I said, dads, we're the principals. We have to have the idea of knowing what's going on. We have to be able to know the condition of our school, of our teachers, aka wife. So, say you're that dad who's just looking down and seeing what's going on. Just say you're that dad and you're looking at your homeschool, seeing what's going on. From this dad to you, I had no idea what homeschool should look like. Well, actually, no, let me backtrack. I did have an idea what homeschool looked like, but it was an unhealthy idea of what homeschool really was. My homeschooling idea was based upon what public school was. So my homeschool should look like public school, but just in my home. And that is far off from the truth. And so a lot of times I was putting shame on my wife because I was coming home and there wasn't order. The kids were crazy, or the lessons had to be this and this and this, and we have to cram in all these extracurricular activities. They have to be doing stuff for 8 hours. And it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of things to live up to, a lot of expectations. And so, setting those expectations on our spouse, putting that weight and pressure on them to perform at a certain level is unhealthy. And that causes shame on our wives. So maybe we need to look at that and look differently and have a conversation with our wives and say, okay, What do you want to accomplish in this homeschool? Here's what I would like to see accomplished. Let's work somewhere in the middle, and let's just that be our goal. Because honestly, I'll be honest, some days with our homeschool, it can be a little busy and a little hectic. We may have to go grocery shopping that we usually save for the weekend, but we got to go grocery shopping, or we have a doctor's appointment. We have some things that come up during the week that we have to take care of when I get home, and homeschooling goes out the window. But we have the level that if we did our Bible devotions in the morning, and that's all we got done, then it was a good day. We'll pick it up where we left off. And there's no shame because we've set that. Like, okay, at least let's get this done. At least let's get our Bible reading and our devotional time with our children so that we're developing what is the overall goal, character. We want to develop character in our children. So as long as we're aiming towards that, today was a good day. Today was a good day. Yeah? That makes sense? And so I want to encourage you in that. Have some goals and then have some minimums. Like that, if this is the least we can do, it's okay. That's going to mitigate the shame. It's going to mitigate you going, I didn't accomplish this. And so the next thing is comparison. Comparing my homeschool to yours. Comparing this to that. Comparison is the thief of joy. And as long as we're doing that, we're going to be missing out on what's going on in our own homeschool. So let's not compare. Let's not compare apples and oranges, but let's just enjoy the orange or enjoy the apple and be comfortable where our homeschool's at. And so I just want to finish with saying that, whatever level of shame you're experiencing, that just backtrack. Take a look at it and see where can you pivot? Where can you change perspective and change direction? Because I think shame really comes from the heart, and it comes from us viewing things in a way that probably we shouldn't. Our vision is not clear, and so our perspective isn't clear. So we need to just adjust, and it could be some simple adjustments. Maybe not loading yourself up with all this different extracurricular activities. Maybe not having such high expectations, but lowering the expectations so that you can meet them and exceed them. As long as they're healthy expectations. Like I have the expectation of doing nothing today. Well then, that's not going to work. It's the expectation that, hey, if we get math done in English, this is good. Or if we get the Bible done, it's good. It's different. It's your family. So know that. You have the freedom. You have the choice. Just assess. Take an AAR, an after action report. What did you like? What can you do better? What can we implement for the next time? And so just some tips and some mindset thinking as far as homeschool shame, and also just some freedom to say, hey, it's okay. It's okay to experience it. It's okay to feel it. But now let's get out of it and move forward and try to change our perspective so it doesn't keep us there, so we don't stay stuck. So fathers, let's keep that needle moving forward. Lead your families courageously. I'm Gabriel Perez, and this is the Dad Schooler.